Shalom. First off, I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS and Ruel. Peace and salutations unto the chosen elect, which begins with the 144,000 chosen men of the nation of Israel. And to all the Akim tuning in and the Akwaf, the few sisters, to you I say Shalom, may mercy and faith be multiplied upon you as we enter into these last days. This is the brother Halal from the Great Millstone branch in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And these little these gremlins, like Apostle Ricard calls them, these gremlins, these YNs, whatever term or whatever acronym you want to give, to these little monsters that's out here terrorizing the community, they're out here running rampant. And this video has recently gone viral of these kids, who look no older than like 12 or 13, who jumped this mother, with sickle cell and her young, elementary school children. This video has gone viral and the Jake community is actually in an outrage, on a low level because of this incident. And it really just shows you, man, like these little nigglets are getting so out of hand that Jake is getting tired of Jake out here, man. And this whole black fatigue trend that these people claim that they own, the men of Yahweh about Shemal Shai been had that fatigue, man. We're tired of niggas and niggerish behavior, man. And very soon, this behavior will be ended when Jacob's trouble comes, man. When Yahweh by Shemal Shai, judges the 2/3 of Israel, man, that are here, mainly those in Babylon the Great, But I'm going to let this video play, and may this lesson be edifying to the elect.
What you want, Shamar? Shamar, look at that. Look at them ankles, boy. Shamar, look at that. Junior. Bitch. Hey, boy, don't touch my brother. Oh, hell no, those ankles.
They just punched that little boy in his face. And I cut the video right there because the rest of the video was so disgusting to watch. They then cornered this woman on the fence with her kids. And she did the best she could. She put her arms around them to try and protect them. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough. They pushed them on the ground and separated the mother from her kids. And they were stomping her out. And keep in mind, the woman is pregnant. And they violently beat the kids as well. These little fucking assholes look like they were from like maybe 7 to 12 or 13 years old. And they already have this violent mindset. Like, who are raising these kids or not?
The nigga woman is the one who's raising them kids, man. Primarily them. They're the ones that raise these little monsters, they grow up and end up terrorizing these streets, man. But you see this wicked ass behavior and this mindset that's in Jake and these communities, is instilled in them from a young age. And it leads to them, committing acts like this, man. This lady was pregnant and I believe she had sickle cell or some type of bodily ailment, if I'm not mistaken. But these niggas don't care. They don't have no mercy, no pity. And this is why Yahweh by Shemal Shai is going to destroy their ass, man. For their lack of wisdom and their disrespect towards the ways of righteousness, man. Towards their own people. But let's go to Jeremiah. Check and see if the sound is on. Salakia, Jeremiah 4:22. It says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." And that's the mindset of our people, man. They don't have any, they don't have any ability to do anything righteous. They don't know where they came from. They don't know the true heritage. They don't know the true name of the Lord. They don't know who Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is. You know, they have no knowledge, but they're wise to do all of these evil things, man. You know, they have perfected the art of wickedness, man, the art of gangbanging, the art of robbing, thieving, and murdering, man. You know, and being cruel to one another. That's the art that these niggas have perfected, man. You know, and other jakes are getting tired of it. You know, it started with the men of the Lord, but man, the average everyday Jake is getting sick and tired of what you would call a YN or a young nigga. You know, because they go around the community terrorizing whoever they want to. You know, shooting. You know, since these niggas don't know how to properly aim, you know, the majority, a lot of these shootings that these niggas get into on the streets, you know, a bystander almost always gets hit with a straight bullet. You know, so, hey, man, this is why we need Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to judge Babylon the Great and the wickedness that dwells in it. You know, the fear of the Lord needs to be instilled into mankind. You know, that's what this generation is lacking, the fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and really the world. You know, but the Lord is about to show this earth what fear really is, man. You know, and they accosted this woman, you know, that had sickle cell, that had an actual ailment and was pregnant with a child. And the scriptures clearly talk about not provoking a person, you know, in distress that's dealing with some bodily ailment. You know, the person that's homeless, that's in a poor condition. Let's get that Sirach chapter 4:1. It says, "My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add no more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need." So here you got this woman that's pregnant, you know, I don't know how many months into her pregnancy, you know, that she's into, but, you know, she got sickle cell, she's walking her children home, you know, and all these niggas, you know, just gang up on her. She can't fight off all these little nigglets, man. You know? And I assume that the father is not around. He probably left. You know, maybe the nigga that she was in a relationship with left, you know, because he ain't want to deal with her no more. You know? Just her and her children. They stood no chance against these nigglets, man. You know, and they put their hands on her. They stomped her out right there on the ground. This is why the Lord is going to judge these niggas, man. This is why the scriptures say in Jeremiah, let's see, somewhere in the book of Jeremiah. Bear with me. Yeah, Jeremiah 7. And let's see, I'll start at matter of fact, I go straight to the point. Jeremiah 7 and verse 16. It says, "Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry or prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, I will not hear thee. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah or in the streets of Jerusalem?" And it's always a people before it's a place. You know, so this scripture is asking the question, do you not see, you know, the wickedness, you know, that our people are doing in all the places where they dwell, in these ghettos, you know, in these rundown areas, you know, the murder, the thieving, the adultery that's going on. So therefore, we don't lift up a cry or a prayer for these niggas, man. You know, we only send up prayers for each other. You know, the like-minded men of this word that have repented, turned to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and are trying to live in the right way and walk the right path. You know, we don't lift up no prayers for these niggas. We don't have no soft spot for the 2/3, because this is the behavior that they exhibit towards their own, you know. But let's get the law, you know, on what happens to a rebellious a YN or whatever you want to call them, a niglet. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy and get the law. Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father and the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, they will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of this city and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of this city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. That's how evil was put away from among Israel back in the ancient world. The ancient world wasn't no joke. If you had a rebellious son, a YN, which you would call them in modern times, a rebellious, little demon, that's how they got dealt with. They were brought out to the elders of the city, and they all gathered up stones, and they got stoned to death. This is how wickedness was put out from among Israel in the ancient world, man. And this is what's missing, man. Our people need the fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai instilled among them. It says at the end of verse 21, and all Israel shall hear and fear. The fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai needs to be brought back among our people, because right now it's non-existent. Our people have no fear of the Lord, so they go around doing whatever they please. Especially this younger generation. So I'm going to end this off with the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. And looking at social media, looking at all of the things that are highly esteemed and promoted in this world, this is the unrighteous generation. A generation that does not contain the fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And that's about to change, man. Because the Lord is about to judge all flesh. Like it says in the book of Isaiah 66, the Lord shall plead with all flesh. That word plead goes into judge, man. So I hope this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to say, call halal yimalai, Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim, Rachak Wadash, double honors, to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS of Ruel, Kwame Sha'ala, Wa Abad Babal.